Hello and welcome to coverage of the North London derby between Arsenal and Tottenham this afternoon here on the Commentary Hub. I'm your alternative host, Mus Vernon, and alongside me, just a few seats down from me to be precise, is JB, ready to bring you the full coverage of this game from the clash between Arsenal and Tottenham in the Premier League. Arsenal of 16 wins, Tottenham 2 with 11 draws in 29 matches that's played at Arsenal in the Premier League. The fans are slowly making their way in. It looks as though there's a few fans just outside the stadium. Still, as we get ready for action, very, very shortly we'll be crossing to JB once the teams are in the tunnel ready to emerge for the match. This afternoon is a 4:30 kickoff at the Emirates, incidentally, so we'll be bringing you that coverage all the way through. If you're tuned in today, thank you very much for tuning in and for choosing us as your commentary feed for this North London derby. If you aren't tuned in, then why not? Is a question I want to ask you. Why aren't you tuned in? Like I say, we're across Storm FM, JB Sports, Commentary Hub 2, JDA Football as well, also across Twitter and Twitch, another lovely Periscope platform. Paul's been in touch, says, might be nice to see a Spurs win today so I can log in to Arsenal Fan TV later and watch the drama. Yes, that channel which Paul just mentioned there, AFTV, were always in meltdown when their team loses. So then, with Tottenham making their way out of the tunnel of the Emirates, as you can see sun there, and they're also making their way out, it's time for me to hand over to the man just a few feet away from me, and that man is your match commentator, it's JB. Good afternoon.
Yeah, thank you, Russ. Good afternoon to you and good afternoon to everybody. Are you all set then for this North London derby? I certainly am. I can't wait for this game. I tell you that the atmosphere will be electric here at the Emirates Stadium this afternoon. 60,000 inside this fantastic venue for the 204th North London derby, the 204th in the history, going back to 1896 when these two sides first played each other, not in Football League but in what was then known as one of the London leagues in those days. But the 204th edition will be very keenly contested, considering both teams is down. Well, certainly Spurs is downturning form recently, and of course Arsenal's upturn. Tottenham start the day 10th with 9 points, Arsenal 14th with 6, but they've won their last two, both by a goal to nil. Here against Norwich a fortnight ago, then I have to say quite brilliantly against my team Burnley the other week when they defended ever so well, certainly in the second half. So you can't knock them for that. But a terrific atmosphere. Well, the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium had the eyes of the world on it last night for the Anthony Joshua fight, which he lost. Today it's the Emirates Stadium in full cry. Arsenal fans absolutely bang up for this one. So too will Spurs. This really is one of the most fearsome derbies in football. There's no doubt about that. Tottenham, who had a good start, winning their first 3 games, including an impressive victory over Manchester City, have lost their last two, both by 3 goals to nil against Crystal Palace and Chelsea last week, a week to the day. So they'll be wanting to get back to winning ways this afternoon, as the team's now about to emerge from this tunnel. Let me give you the 2 lineups before the teams do come out and we start proceedings here this afternoon. the clock end in fantastic voice. And what an atmosphere. Here comes Spurs coming out now. So let's give you the two sides for this crucial game here at the Emirates this afternoon. Tottenham Hotspur, as I say, coming out onto the field, followed closely by Arsenal. And let's look at that Arsenal side. Well, there was a bit of a dilemma. Aaron Ramsdale gets the nod over Bernd Leno in goal. Ramsdale has kept 2 clean sheets in the last 2 games since he's been in the squad, and both have resulted in 1-0 victories. Will it be third time in a row today, I wonder? Anyway, it's Ramsdale in goal. Back 4 today of Kieran Tierney, Ben White, Gabriel and Takamura Tomasu. And then in the midfield, it's going to be Thomas Partey and Granit Xhaka, the 2 holding midfielders, followed by Bakary Saka, Martin Odegaard, who scored at Burnley last week, and Emile Smith-Rowe. And then up front, the captain, the talisman, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, getting the nod. Tomasu will play it right back, we believe, with Tierney on the left-hand side. Tomasu, of course, hails from Japan, putting a terrific performance against Burnley last week. Certainly one of the standout players at Turf Moor. Saka will play on the left, we believe, and Smith-Rowe on the right, with Odegaard central. And then, as I said, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang up front for the Arsenal. On the bench, Bernd Leno, Alex Lacazette, Ainsley Maitland-Niles, Rob Holding, Cedric Suarez, Nicolas Pepe, Nuno Tavares, Sambi Luloka and Gabriel Martinelli. For Tottenham, Hugo Lloris, the French captain and goalkeeper captain for Spurs in goal. Then it's Japik Tanganga, Davison Sanchez, Eric Dyer and Sergio Reguilon at the back. Reguilon on the left, Tanganga will play on the right side. Then it's Tanguy Ndombele, and Pierre-Emile Højbjerg and Dele Alli with the dreadlocks, looking like Ruud Gullit there. And then a 3-man up front, Lucas Moura, Son Heung-min will play centrally, and top scorer Harry Kane, who's actually the top scorer in North London derbies in history. Galini, Romero, Gill, Royal, Roldan, Los Osos, Oliver Skip, Ben Davies and Dane Scarlett are the substitutes. Tottenham playing 4-3-3, and Arsenal, well, it looks as if it's going to be a 3-2-3-1 formation, although there were other websites had it down as 4-1-4-1. But I think 4-2-3-1 is probably about right for the formation of Arsenal. That is for sure. Spurs, you know what to expect for 4-3-3, but they've got their first choice from 3 up there. Lucas Moura, Son Heung-min and Harry Kane, who, as I say, is the top scorer in North London derbies in the history of this famous old derby, 11 goals. Scored in midweek against Wolverhampton Wanderers in the League Cup. Can he follow suit today? He's been out of the goals. He was basically nowhere. In fact, I don't think he registered a shot on target throughout the 90 minutes when they played Manchester City last week. And now both teams are gonna go into the centre circle now, and I think there's going to be a minute's applause in honour of the great Jimmy Greaves, who of course died last week, aged 81. A brilliant pundit for ITV for many years on Saints and Greasy, and a great footballer and Spurs' all-time top scorer. Let's pause for a moment and take in the applause for Jimmy Greaves. And well done, Arsenal. What a nice touch there by Arsenal. Spurs legend, Chelsea legend, also played for AC Milan and West Ham. And Greasy would always say he also played for Barnet as well in non-league towards the end of his career. Fought a well-publicised battle with alcoholism, but then became a huge favourite on television with the Saints and Greasy. Right, let's hope we can give him a North London derby that he'll be looking down on with great pride. He's played in a few of these North London games before, Greasy, and he'll be hoping today's will be a good one. The referee today is Craig Pawson from South Yorkshire, Ian Hewson and Dan Rovan are the assistants, Peter Banks the fourth official, Stuart Outwell the VAR ref, as the players take the knee and get a good round of applause for doing that action in their ongoing fight against racism, as Spurs get this 204th North London derby up and underway. Both teams in traditional colours, Arsenal in the red and white, and Spurs all in white with the darker shorts. Arsenal in the white shorts, of course. And the early touch there for Aaron Ramsdale, who now kicks away right-footed. Going towards halfway, Saka chases that one, but the ball out of play here. So Spurs lost their last two. 3-0 at Palace, 3-0 at home to Chelsea last week. Arsenal have won their last two games. 1-0 here against Norwich City, a battling 1-0 win, and another battling 1-0 win against Burnley last week at Turf Moor. Just to ease the pressure a bit on Mikel Arteta, who would love a win here today. Arsenal down in 14th place in the table. Spurs, after a lightning fast start which saw them top of the table after 3 matches, are now down in 10th place, having lost their last 2. And a lot of disgruntled Spurs fans thought that Nuno was too conservative in the defeat to Chelsea last week, although Chelsea really played well second half. Well, Spurs give it a good go in the first. Let's see how they go here as Højbjerg pinches possession off Odegaard, and then the ball is lost again. And well, there's a good atmosphere here. Saka, who's really grown up as a footballer in the last year, certainly when playing for England, he certainly had a terrific European Championships. Here he is on the ball on the left-hand side. Finds Thomas Partey. He's wearing Thomas on the back of his shirt, incidentally, but we know him as Thomas Partey. Tierney has it out on the left-hand side. Has to go back now to Gabriel. One of 2 centre-backs, the other one being Ben White. They got for £50 million from Brighton. Here he is now on the ball, Ben White. Number 4 he wears. White back to Gabriel. 2 minutes gone here. We're live on the commentary hub and JDAT Football, JB Sports, Storm FM, Mike Harneman's channel. Big Arsenal fan. Hope he's listening to this game today, incidentally. And a big hello to you, Mike, one of our commentating colleagues. And of course, TC Hub 2. Plus Periscope, Twitter and Twitch. Free kick to Tottenham, or Arsenal rather, already taken. Here's Ben White though in possession, gets it out towards the far side. Tierney waits, hugs that touchline halfway inside the Spurs half on the far side, and gets a throw in. And he'll take that throw in now, Tierney. Scottish international, back to Gabriel on halfway. Gabriel pirouettes, looks for Ben White again, hugging that left hand touchline. Takes on Dele Alli. Ball played back once more. Coming up to 3 minutes of the first half gone. We are a little bit behind, so just a little bit of apologies there for the that we're just a little bit behind. So I would have begged anybody not to give the game away to any of our listeners with the comment section, please, if you are a bit ahead of us on the street. Arsenal 0, Tottenham Hotspur 0, and the ball back with Aaron Ramsdale. Ramsdale, all in green, kicks away, right-footed, and then finds the other goalkeeper who's defending the clock end to my right, incidentally, all in yellow today. Hugo Lloris, the Tottenham captain. Arsenal are taking the clock end, incidentally, at the Emirates Stadium. And the atmosphere around the Emirates, absolutely electric for this one, I can tell you. If only we were still at Highbury, I think the atmosphere would be 10 times the better for it. But 60,000 or so inside this ground. Foul by Saka on Højbjerg. Not Højbjerg, rather. Regulin. And a free kick it is for Tottenham Hotspur with Dyer in possession. Finds Davinson Sanchez. Sanchez again. Now Eric Dyer. Dyer again, this time looks for Davinson Sanchez. Sanchez under pressure from Aubameyang on the left hand, on the right, on the far side. And he's hit it against Aubameyang twice, and in fact has got the goal kick, but he was very fortunate there on that occasion, Davinson Sanchez. But good charging down there from the Arsenal man, the Arsenal striker, Espirito Santo. It's his 6th game in charge of Spurs since joining during the course season for Wolverhampton Wanderers as a successor to Jose Mourinho, of course. As a permanent manager, people will say, well, Ryan Mason had a spell in charge. Of course he did, but that was on a caretaker basis. Xhaka's been penalised and halfway. 3 kick to Tottenham Hotspur. And North London certainly is still the most fiercest battle. Maybe Spurs and Tottenham are no longer kings of London in terms of success and trophies won. Chelsea have seen to that as the ball's played through and Sonny's onside. The flag has stayed down. There's plenty of Arsenal defenders got back there and the shot came in and Arsenal appealing furiously for offside. And Dan Robertson kept his flag down, but I think that might have actually gone to VAR because they could have actually just said, come on ref, that's offside. And he did look a smidgen offside, that's for sure, but no goal came from that and it's 0-0. In fact, a 3 kick was given as it turned out. So all eyes of course on the officials. It's always a big game for the officials. The win probability a bit early in the day to say that, but Arsenal have a 36% chance of a win. Spurs 35, draw 29, but it's a bit early. We're only about 5 minutes in. Here's a Birmingham shoot, at the near post, and it's a good save. It's a terrific save from Lloris, diving away to his right hand side, protecting his left hand post as Aubameyang struck it just to the left of the 6-yard box. Terrific effort there, and Arsenal really putting on the pressure, and well, that's even debatable whether he was offside or not. Well, having said all that, I think the goalkeeper might have had it covered anyway, but Lloris just couldn't take any chances there. And in fact, it was offside, so a 3 kick it is to Tottenham, which has been taken by Lloris. Tierney will pump the ball back into the Tottenham half, and Dyer is underneath it, heads it away, back over halfway, and Partey now, and now here's Ben White, the new centre back they bought from Brighton, and here's Tomasu, who put in a terrific shift, of course, at Turf Moor last week. Partey now touching it on there to Odegaard, who got the winner last week. This is good football. Smith Rowe, Tierney, good cross in there, just beyond Saka and Aubameyang, but not Tomasu, who gets the cross in. Breaks to Saka. Saka goes down, but referee plays on, and here comes Saka, the 19-year-old, who's really grown up in the last year as a footballer, especially when he's been on England duty. He's never let his country down, despite that feeble missed penalty in the final of the Euros. Didn't deserve all that abuse he took. He's a young lad, and I think we can forgive him for them missed penalties. But anyway, coming up towards 8 minutes gone here at the Emirates Stadium. I nearly said Highbury. I was watching an old Tottenham Arsenal game a few weeks ago on YouTube, and it was at Highbury. The days when it could be covered by terrestrial television, but those days are certainly by the wayside now in terms of Premier League, in terms of league football. Here's Saka now, right hand side for Arsenal. 0-0 if you've just joined us. 8 minutes gone, so we may be a bit behind of the actual streaming, so do bear with us. We're live on JB Sports, JDAT Football, CCM2, Storm FM, Periscope, Twitter and Twitch. Of course, we're on Twitter as well at Commentary Live 1, and we do have a website, of course, a Facebook website, www.facebook.com/Commentary Hub. Of course, we'll keep you up to date with all the latest news, views and whatever, and commentary appointments on that. And of course Twitter handle as well. We are live on Twitter, of course, just to remind you. Of course, we also put out news on Twitter as well. And our streaming partner for the season is the Melon streaming app. Check out their website at www.melonstreamingapp.com. Now I've got all the mentions out of the way, let's get on with this football match. 9 minutes gone, Tottenham 0, Arsenal 0 rather, Tottenham 0. And handball has been given, I think, is it? Now, what's the referee doing here? Now, I think he's given a throw into Tottenham. Tottenham have a throw, and they go back to Eric Dyer. Dyer to Sanchez. Sanchez now turns, starts to trot forward over halfway, hits a long ball forwards, looking towards Son. And the ball's been knocked away once more. Now Gabriel goes back to his goalkeeper. Lucas Moura tried to close him down. Here's Tomasu. Finds Zaka. Tomasu now gets it down the left hand side. Infield to Martin Odegaard, who's really coming to his own now since joining permanently from Real Madrid in the close season. Here's Thomas Partey. They got him a year ago. And good football this from Arsenal, starting really well. Tomasu now onto Odegaard, who's just gone to the left hand side. Odegaard back to Tomasu. Now Gabriel once more. Or rather Ben White to Gabriel this time. Gabriel to Tierney. Tierney back to Gabriel. It's a little bit backwards and forwards at the moment, this potential Arsenal move. We've hit the 10.5 minute mark of the first half at the Emirates Stadium, and what a lovely touch for Jimmy Greaves before the start from the Arsenal faithful, paying tribute to a real gentleman of English football and a real funny man of English football and a goal scoring legend of English football. Here's Saka now back to Marsu, who plays number 18, plays in Monreal's old shirt actually at the Emirates. Don't see much of Granit Xhaka yet, although there was a lot of people saying in the build up to this game that he could be a weak link for Arsenal and could the occasion get the better of him. Anyway, Odegaard finds Saka inside the penalty area on the right hand side. Saka darts into the area, good ball in, and a goal for Arsenal! 1-0 they lead, and it's Emile Smith-Rowe who's got it. 11.5 minutes gone, Arsenal in front, and you've got to say they've been the better side. They've attacked more fluently than Tottenham have kept chances to a minimum, and what a move it was. Built up very slowly from the back, and then he went forward to Odegaard. Saka then got in on the right hand channel, took on his defender, took on his man, beat him for pace, crossed back, and Smith-Rowe unmarked to tap it in from about 7 or 8 yards past the static goalkeeper Hugo Lloris. And Arsenal get the goal there. Early dominance deserves. 12 minutes gone in a North London derby. Arsenal 1, Tottenham Hotspur 0. What a... Oh, look at that from Arteta if you're watching. A leap of delight. And Emile Smith-Rowe. What a moment for this young man. Arsenal through and through. Came up through the academy. And look at the Arsenal fans writing as one to them. To this man. Terrific goal. Arsenal 1, Tottenham Hotspur 0. What a terrific team goal that was. 12 minutes on the clock. And we've got a game with a vengeance. And the problems are mounting up for Nuno Santo, that is for sure. Remember, he's lost his last 2 matches 3-0. And Harry Kane hasn't been involved in any of them defeats from an attacking point of view. He's played in them, but hasn't been anywhere. And he's not been anywhere in this game either. And Tierney's making a good run down the left. Could it be 2 goals in a minute? Well, nearly was. Just the cross lacked a little bit of substance. Saka picks the ball up. Finds to Marsu, back to Saka again. Partey, good football again. Odegaard, who started the move off, which led to the goal. Saka finds Tierney, left hand side, back towards halfway. It's Saka. Now Ben White, the former Brighton defender, started his career off, Russell tell you, at Ellen Road with Leeds United. And they'll be wondering why he sold him to Brighton, to be quite honest. What they could do with him at the heart of their defence right now. 70% Arsenal, 30% Tottenham, and a weekend of Premier League action which has seen Aston Villa win at Manchester United, and Bruno Fernandes missing one of the penalties, with one of the worst penalty misses so far of the season. Brentford drawing 3-3 with Liverpool, nearly winning it by the way. VAR controversy at Leicester and at Leeds. Manchester City finishing Chelsea's unbeaten record, and Wolves earlier winning by 1-0 in their match against Southampton at Molineux, and now Arsenal lead by 1-0. It's the old 1-0 to the Arsenal. But here come Tottenham looking for this equaliser with Reguilon. Regulin left hand side, good cross in there, and it might come to Son Heung-min, who was darting in there. Kane was nowhere. Moura picks the ball up, chips it in, and it's well wide of target. Poor ball in really by Lucas Moura. Goal kick to Arsenal, but that's the first time we've seen Tottenham explored as an attacking force. In fact, White was only on loan at Leeds from Brighton. Yeah, thank you, Rose. I didn't realise that actually. Anyway, quarter of an hour played at the Emirates. Arsenal 1, Tottenham Hotspur 0. A terrific team goal from the Gunners. And Emile Smith-Rowe, the man who's got the goal. Here's Odegaard now, deep inside Tottenham territory. And the centre of the field. Looks for options. He's got it in Tierney. Tierney now. This is terrific football from Arsenal. When you look at the quality that's on show at the moment, Tottenham have hardly really been in this opening quarter of an hour. White finds Gabriel. Gabriel under pressure from Moura, and he plays a lovely ball forward, and Aubameyang's onside. Gets the cross in. It's just a little bit too far for Saka, but he's retrieved it well. And Odegaard to Saka. Saka again. Set up for Partey. Oh, what a good effort with the right foot. And Lloris having to dive to his left as he looked at it. Had to palm it out for a corner. And Arsenal here, you've got to say, at the moment are on top. Again, a wonderful move from Arsenal. Aubameyang onside as that ball was played. Saka didn't give up the lost cause. Played a lovely one too with Odegaard. Sent the ball back, did Saka, and that was going in. And Lloris made a good save. Corner to Arsenal. Odegaard to take it towards the far post. There's a man for it on the far side here for Arsenal. And really Tottenham all sorts of defensive disarray, but they just managed to get it away. Tierney, the furthest man back for Arsenal, picks the ball up and launches another attack. Ball played into Odegaard. Now to Aubameyang. Aubameyang shoots! Oh, just over from about 25 yards with the right foot. I tell you what, guys, this is some terrific football I'm seeing here from the Arsenal. I think this is the best Arsenal performance so far I have seen for a heck of a long time. They could have had, and this is no exaggeration of the truth, folks, Arsenal could have had more than the one goal they've already got. They could have had 2 or 3 by now. Spurs have been wretched. They've been feeble and they've been poor. They really do need to pick the game up a little bit in this one at the moment. But Arsenal, definitely, it's been their first 17 and a bit minutes. And they have possession again, Tierney, and they're making it so easy for Arsenal here. Arteta, so far in this game, has got it tactically right, and they've won a free kick as well. Aubameyang fouled. Clumsy challenge from Davinson Sanchez. And Spurs are really on the rack. They had an impressive start to the season. No side, but 2 defeats on the spin now, and no wonder the Spurs fans are looking ashen-faced and worried. They were feeble last week in defeat at Chelsea. They were feeble the week before at Selhurst Park, when they were beaten quite simply by Crystal Palace. And now they're being beaten here quite convincingly at the moment. They need to up their game at the moment. 1-0 down. It's not irreversible by any means, but they just need to get, I don't know, a bit of possession and just try and go forward as much as they can. Moura now to Son. Son turns. They need something now if they can try and get themselves back in there. Ali plays it out to the far side. Now then, what can Tanganga do here? He goes down. Does the referee give here? Goal kick is the decision. Tanganga, according to the referee, making a bit of a meal of it, although he does look a little bit hurt. What a moment that Emile Smith-Rowe will never forget. What a sweeping move. Started by Odegaard, carried on by Saka as he took on his man Regulin and whipped him for pace down that right hand flank, and then put a lovely low cross in, a lovely little cut back, and Smith-Rowe with the side of the right foot did the rest. So the win probability now, sponsored by Oracle Cloud, has got Arsenal at 62%, 23% the draw, and Tottenham just 15% win probability. So if you're a Tottenham fan, I would be putting my hands in your ears right now. I'll be quite frank with you. It's very difficult to see at the moment. Bert Leno there, the goalkeeper, who's lost his place now. Quite rightly, I think, to Aaron Ramsdale. Made some real bad mistakes in the opening 2 or 3 games, which cost Arsenal points. Of course, they were beaten, humbled by Manchester City at the Etihad Stadium, and everyone was saying relegation fodder. But at the moment, the lads, they picked up form. 2 doggy 1-0 wins, one here at home and one at Turf Moor, and they earned those results. And they're playing some terrific football here today. It's ball knocked away again by this time by Tomatu, who looks a really good signing there. Playing at right back today. 3 attempts on target, 3 attempts at goal, 2 on target, 1-0 up. And the attempt stacks, of course, sponsored by Oracle Cloud. Here's Ndombele, plays that ball in there to Ali. And now the ball played forward by Moller, back to Ali again. Looks like Ruud Gullit with those dreadlocks. Not playing like Ruud Gullit at the moment. Tierney saw him down the blind alley and won that battle. He'll be in possession. Against Spurs, force something here. Moura now, 35 yards from goal. Will he unleash a shot? Plays a 1-2 with Son. Ali's through, but he can't get it out of his feet. He's not exactly playing like Ruud Gullit today, is he, Dele Alli? And now here's Odegaard for Arsenal. Finds Saka on the right-hand side. We've had 21 minutes of the first half as we come up towards halfway mark. But here's Son Heung-min into the area. Here he goes. Son Heung-min. Great run by him, and a good save at the near post by Aaron Ramsdale. Terrific goalkeeping there by the former Bournemouth and Sheffield United man. Well, the question marks for rest of his signing as well, but they got him from Sheffield United. He's been relegated twice with both those clubs, but I don't think you can blame him for 2 relegations. It was a good routine save at the near post, and that's the first time I think I've seen Tottenham explode as an attacking force. It's taken them till halfway through the first half to actually do that. 22 minutes gone. Arsenal 1, Tottenham 0. Son with the corner then, near side. Comes in there towards the near post, and it's an attack there by Tanganga, but it was way over the top, and a goal kick for Arsenal, who still lead by a goal to 0. Tanganga there, left hand side of the edge of the 6-yard area as he nodded it towards goal. In fact, he headed it well wide of goal as it turned out. Goal kick to Arsenal. And Nuno with a rueful smile at the moment, or a rueful look on his face at this moment in time. Leno in possession for Arsenal, playing out from the back. Both teams in fact like to play out from the back. That's just about found Odegaard. It wasn't the best pass I've seen this afternoon so far. And Ndombele in possession with the mop of blonde hair on top. And here goes Moura, who's just taken a bit more of a deeper position. Free kick given, and Ali's took it quickly. Ball played in there to Ndombele, and now Moura goes forward. Kane gets a touch. Kane nearly needs to come to the party here. Harry Kane with the shot. Well, he can't repeat the goal he got in Poland a 2 or 3 weeks back, and he hit that terrifically, sweetly on the right foot as well. But he wasn't going to repeat that trick for Tottenham today. Scored 3 goals in England colours this season, but not in the league so far. As we see that goal again, Saka with a lovely little cutback, and Smith Rowe just started in undetected really. Got to the penalty spot area. Saka picked his spot, he got his head up, looked where Smith Rowe was, and put it on a plate for him to smash it home past Hugo Lloris, who didn't really stand a chance. 24 gone. Arsenal 1, Tottenham 0. 12-minute goal from Emile Smith Rowe, and he's having a terrific game as well. Bukayo Saka, he's having a terrific game. Real pace to burn at the moment, and Arsenal as a team are playing very well. They're looking very good. Maybe Arteta Fingers crossed has got them playing. I don't want to jinx it for any Arsenal fans listening. But at the moment, your team are well on top here and look very sharp and very first to almost every ball at the moment. As the ball is not forward and Saka's onto it again. This man's got pace. Saka, oh, he just slipped there. He was a bit unlucky there. Saka again got him behind that Tottenham defence down that right hand side. He's had a lot of joy on that right hand channel, and unfortunately for him on that occasion, it was quite unlucky really. He just slipped as he had the ball, and it's given Spurs possession, but no blame attached to Saka whatsoever. Free kick is it to Tottenham? Moura has gone down as if he's been shot by Lee Harvey Oswald, and Granit Xhaka protesting his innocence. He was the man who made the challenge. We go, hit the 25-minute mark. Oh, it was a bit of a brighty leap, and that is the worry from Arsenal. It was a bad foul. I'm amazed Craig Pawson hasn't booked him for that. Any other day that would have been a bookable offence. On any other day that would have been a bookable offence. Maybe he's letting one or two rash challenges go in the opening 20 minutes. I don't know, 25, 26 minutes. Spurs fan, if you're a Spurs fan, you'd want Xhaka in the book there. It looked a horrible challenge, and it was from behind as well. Anyway, and Ndombele now for Spurs. They took the free kick short. Nothing's come with it so far. Holibier now to Davinson Sanchez. Here's Lucas Moura, who's, as I said, gone more deeper than the front three position we predicted he'd be in. And as well, Granit Xhaka probably more in revenge, although the two guys shake hands and come out playing football again. Last 5 possession, that's 5 minutes that is. 27% Arsenal, 73% Tottenham. And Arsenal, the most important statistic is that Arsenal are still winning by 1-0. And that really is the most important thing, as Leno has possession for Arsenal. Oh, it's not Leno, rather Ramsdale, sorry. Giving the ball away there. I do apologise. I forgot it was Ramsdale. Anyway, Smith Rowe breaking away down the left-hand side. It's Smith Rowe into the area. He's got Aubameyang there. Aubameyang shoots it into the right-hand corner. And Arsenal stretch their lead to 2-0. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, and the man who set up the goal has created the first goal. The man who set up the second one, who scored the first one, Emile Smith Rowe. What a game he's having. A goal and assist for him. Aubameyang with the second. 27 minutes gone in the North London derby. And Ramsdale, who got a little bit fortunate maybe with the clearance away. Well, he set up that move, and then the ball was played forward. Aubameyang got it on the halfway line. Smith Rowe, one an inspired run down the left-hand side, cut inside, and another lovely cut back. And first time Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang finds the left-hand corner. Lloris starring away to his left as he looked. Couldn't do anything about it. Good left-footed shot. And it wrestles sweetly into the right-hand corner of the net. 2-0 to Arsenal. And they're taking Tottenham well and truly to the cleaners now. He actually scuffs it into the ground, which actually takes it away from Hugo Lloris. But Arsenal won't care. They've got that 2-goal lead, and you have to say, it's a repeat of the first celebration from Arteta, by the way. But you've got to say that it's been a lead they thoroughly deserved. So 2-0 to Arsenal. And Tottenham, who have had plenty of the ball in the last 6 or 7 minutes, have just done little or nothing with the ball. But on Arsenal have had their play. They've certainly done brilliant. They've done a lot better with what possession they've had. And that is the case in point. 28 gone here at the Emirates Stadium. The odds of the world were on Tottenham Hotspur Stadium for the big fight last night between Joshua and Uska, which Uska won on points and won by more than 2 rounds, 2 clear rounds. Well, I've just seen a picture of Nuno, and in the background is the scoreline: Arsenal 2, Tottenham Hotspur 0. And Harry Kane, from memory, has had about 2 touches of the entire ball And we've been playing, what, 29 and a half minutes. He's persisted in playing Kane on the left-hand side. I don't think it's his natural position. He should be playing up. He should be playing centrally and further forward for me. He's been nowhere. He's in absolutely nowhere. He's not utilising the top scorer, and at the moment he's looking nowhere near to adding to 11 goals he's got in the derby so far. And Arsenal in complete control with half an hour exactly gone now with the derby. 2-0 they lead. On the commentary hub at JB Sports, JDAT Football, Storm FM, and there'll be a few happy faces in that on that channel tonight. Certainly our mutual friend Mike Harneman will be delighted so far. This was the pass from Ramsdale, which just about caught Xhaka, although Xhaka could have been, I mean, that could have easily been a free kick against Granit Xhaka, because Højbjerg touches him and Xhaka actually pushes him from behind. Tottenham might have a case there for a possible foul in the build-up, but they won't care, Arsenal. They're 2 goals ahead, and that's all that matters to them. And I've got to say, after that, Tottenham should have defended that an awful lot better. They were just all over the place. Here's Odegaard for Arsenal now. Finds Gabriel. Gabriel touches out to Tierney. Tierney now back to Gabriel, and now Ben White in possession now for Arsenal, number 4. And Tomasu leaves it for Odegaard. Back to Tomasu again, the Japanese international. Back to Ramsdale. And chip forward there by Thomas Partey. And Tierney does keep it well, uses his head. It's away from Ali, or pirouetted away from Ali. Arsenal still have possession. Granit Xhaka. Just 1 or 2 of his challenges have just bordered on the fast, quite a fast on the fasty side. Could have easily been booked for one of those. But it hasn't been that way so far. And Arsenal keeping possession really neatly as well, I have to say. Xhaka now, that wasn't a good ball there. As soon as I say they were keeping possession neatly, they give the ball away sloppily, and then Xhaka, what's he giving here? Free kick to Arsenal, foul, I think, possibly by Højbjerg. Or maybe a possible handball. Could be a possible handball. Well, anyway, it's a free kick anyway. Xhaka was fouled, as it turned out. Well, he'll be a delighted manager now. 2 goals ahead. Bit early to say that he's going to have the pipe and slippers on, but we'll just have to wait and see as Smith Rowe chases after that one. Sanchez lets that go out by the dead ball line. Goal kick to Tottenham. Just a word about Emile Smith Rowe. He's certainly, even at this early stage of proceedings, what with nearly 33 minutes of the game gone, has really put himself into my thoughts for potential player of the match award, because of course we've got the player of the match award coming up, sponsored of course by our good friends at Commentary Services, our parent company. The backers behind our channel, and Harry Swain's terrific company as Son finds Regulin. We'll just go back to Smith Rowe in a second when we see this Tottenham attack out. And Ndombele, here's Harry Kane, 25 yards out, and he slips and he goes over. That's poor from Harry Kane. North London derby, and I think all that talk of Manchester City is affecting his game at the moment. Certainly in the Premier League terms. Here's Saka now down the right. He's England calling. Saka looking to go inside, and Saka still got it. And Xhaka shoots brilliantly into the left-hand corner. And Arsenal stretch their lead to 3-0. Bukayo Saka, what a man this guy is. He has truly grown up as a footballer in the last 12 months. And Arsenal stretch their lead to 3-0. And it is a morning in North London today. And that got the seal of approval from a certain Mr. Henry. And the dance is in full swing. Excuse me. So Arsenal go 3 up. Harry Kane, well, it was him who gave the ball away. Fell over like a stone, really. And then Saka got the ball on the right-hand side here. Lost possession initially to Højbjerg. and then did well to win it. In fact, it was Kane who took possession of it, but then was dispossessed by Saka, who finished the job off. And in it went into the left-hand corner. And Arsenal, you have to say, even at this early stage, with just over 10 minutes to the break, I've probably got this North London derby, dare I say it, sewn up. Arteta is celebrated as if it was the cup final or the last day of the Premier League season. But it means so much to everybody in this part of the world. I should tell you that I forgot to tell you at the start, out of 203 previous matches, Arsenal have won 83. This is stretching back from the 1896. They've played 203 games since those heady days back in the 1800s. Arsenal have won 83 times. This is all competitions, by the way. Tottenham 66, and 54 of them have been drawn. I don't think the draw camp's going to go up, and I don't think the Tottenham win camp's going to go up. And one or two Spurs fans, I think I can tell you, I think have seen enough. They're leaving the ground early, and Spurs, who have already lost their last 2 games by 3-goal margins, and now find themselves 3 goals down. Well, I'm sure Russ is going to have lots to talk about when I go and take my half-time drink at half-time, because I'll need to rest the voice for 15 minutes or so. I'm hoping for a bit more of a quieter game. Been anything but. But I have to say, I'm not disappointed with the quality of football that Arsenal have offered today. I know Paul, one of our listeners on JB Sports, Paul James, a fellow Burnley fan by the way, he fancied Tottenham today. I think he may have just put the jinxes on them, to be quite honest with you. I think he wanted me to. I think he was half hoping that Tottenham would win, and I would say Arsenal Fan TV is in meltdown. But it's Tottenham who are in meltdown at the moment, and you've got to say deservedly so. I think Arsenal Fan TV might be a good place to be tonight. This is undoubtedly Arsenal's best performance of the season, and they are giving Spurs, even at this early stage of the game, with 37 minutes gone, as Ramsdale kicks away right-footed, they're giving Spurs an absolute drubbing and a mauling here. It's been an avalanche, really, in such a one-sided North London derby. It looked like a Hinterman ball against Kane. Play on, no, says the referee. Son Heung-min. Back to Regulin. Regulin now. Looks to come inside. This has been one-way traffic. Tanganga now with the cross in there, and well dealt with there by Gabriel for a corner. That was good defending there, wearing the old shirt number of, I know, former Arsenal defender of his own team, Tony Adams, who's actually here for television today at the Emirates, incidentally. And he did really well there, the number 6 for Arsenal. Almost in the Tony Adams style mould, that one. Big Tone would be quite happy with that sort of defending right now. Tottenham have yielded a second corner. Son takes the corners from both sides. Arsenal have had one, by the way. Sponsored, of course, by Oracle Cloud. Corner then to be taken by Son. Kane and Dyer wait by the penalty spot, and that's in towards Dyer, and Kane's there too, and heads just wide of the right-hand upright, the far right-hand upright, and a goal kick to Arsenal. But that's the closest Tottenham have come to actually piercing Aaron Ramsdale's goal. 7 or 8 yards out. Kane almost adding to his 11 previous goals in North London derbies. That was almost the 12th one. That would have put Tottenham a foothold in the game if it had gone in, but it hadn't. And I think Ramsdale, to be fair, had the post covered anyway. Well, he's coming at the moment. He's practically half and a little bit away from keeping a 3rd clean sheet in a row in his first 3 games for Arsenal. He's an Arsenal lad through and through, this young lad. When the eyebrows were raised when they paid an awful lot of money for Ramsdale to Sheffield United for his services. But what an investment he's proved to be. So too is Ben White at the moment. The way he's kept Kane and Son quiet, along with Gabriel, excuse me, has been absolutely astronomical. 3-0 to the Arsenal, and we're not even at 40 minutes yet. Just goes to show, folks, how well this first half has been played here. Live on the commentary hub in association with our partners JB Sports, JDAT Football, Storm FM and TC Hub 2. We're also on Periscope, Twitter and Twitch. And what you're listening to here is some terrific football from Arsenal at the moment. And it's a pleasure to bring it to you. Not if you're a John Kane or a Tottenham Hotspur fan like John Kane is. Sorry, John. As the ball is played forward again, cut out there. Of course, Johnny's working at the moment elsewhere today, so we won't get his thoughts. And Mike, of course, is on holiday, and I hope he's enjoying his holiday as well as this terrific Arsenal performance. 5 minutes to half time. Aubameyang down the left, right-hand side, and it's across, just too high for all comers as well as Arsenal attackers. Xhaka now has it on the edge. Xhaka now trying to scuffle across in there to the penalty area, but it's knocked out of play. It will be an Arsenal throw-in. Still inside Tottenham territory, 10 yards from halfway, still inside the Tottenham half. It's been one-way traffic. Spurs, the closest they've come was a speculative shot that was saved at the near post by Ramsdale from Son Heung-min, and the Harry Kane header that just went wide of the right-hand post, although Ramsdale again had the post covered in my opinion. But it's certainly been one-way traffic today, that is for sure. And I think I don't think anyone can argue with the scoreline at the moment. Arsenal 3, Tottenham Hotspur 0. One goal from Smith Rowe, Aubameyang with the second, Saka with an assist and a goal to his name along with Smith Rowe. I think those two might be just in the reckoning for player of the match a little bit later on in the day. Be a hard decision for me to pick the choose between the two. I wonder if I can choose a joint man of the match, Russ. I'll ask you that when I hand back to you at half time. But anyway, free kick to Tottenham as Tommaso has brought down his man, and Arteta, I don't think he needs to complain too much. He's tied a 3 up and it's probably there, but in fact I think it's without doubt one of the best performances I think under his managementship. Really, when you look back over the 18 months he's been in charge of Arsenal, it's been quite a time for him. Under a lot of pressure after the first 3 games. Remember, he lost his first 3 games, including a horror show of a defeat at Manchester City, and people were calling for his head. But 2-1-0 wins later, and now they find themselves 3 goals up against a Nuno Espirito's Tottenham, who really, apart from 2 half chances, have completely run out of ideas. Or are suffering from a lack of ideas. As Rowan Ramsdale prepares to take another goal kick, taking his time, puffing out his cheeks and his chest as he kicks away now down the field. And header on by Aubameyang, looking for was Bukayo Saka, and in the end it's knocked away once more. Partey will win the next ball. Odegaard then knocks the ball back, and Tommaso back again to Ramsdale. Excuse me once again. More forward by Ramsdale. High, but well dealt with again. Ball back towards the goalkeeper, Lloris. 2 minutes to half time, plus any additional time that fourth official Peter Banks will want to add on at the end. Terrific first half this for Arsenal, as IBA now looking to get Spurs on the board maybe before half time, save a little bit of face before the break, gives something for Nuno and his men to build on if they can. But it'll be a goal that they've barely deserved really when you look at the balance of play as Saka takes possession. They played badly last week against Chelsea, I thought. They played even worse today. I think we'd all be in agreement with that. They've got a throw in now, almost in line with the 18-yard box of Arsenal on the left-hand side, and they had to go back to Eric Dyer. I suspect there'll be a number of teacups being broken in that Tottenham dressing room rather during the half-time interval if it stays this way till the break. We've got a minute of normal time left. Arteta telling everybody to get back, and Ndombele now gets the ball out there. And there's a man free on that far side here, and it's the ball knocked in there by Tangana, comes out And Arsenal quelled the danger very well there from Tottenham. Saka doing well. He's had a mesmerising first half. So too has Emil Smith-Rowe. Both the youngsters have had a goal and assist between them, and they've really took the fights. And so too has Aubameyang. He's had a good game as well, lest we forget. And he set up a goal as well. Let's not forget for Smith-Rowe. So in fact, Aubameyang is in there. So the front three for Arsenal, but the guys involved in all three goals have now got themselves a bid or two for player of the match. So in fact, all three of them are in the frame because they've got a goal each and an assist each, and they're enjoying. Well, the good thing about it is, from their point of view, as we go past the 45-minute mark and into stoppage time, they've been enjoying their football today, Arsenal. And it's not often you actually say that as a commentator when you're covering Arsenal. And we haven't been able to say that for a long time. We're into 200 minutes, incidentally, that Peter Banks has given. And look at the Tottenham end. If you're watching at home, look at the Tottenham end. There are several empty seats. There's a lot of Spurs fans who have decided enough is enough. And the win probability, 97% Arsenal, 2% the draw, and 1% still think Tottenham could win it. But I doubt it very much. When you've got a 97% win probability, I think you're on a losing battle, quite frankly. I think that Spurs can hope for now is to score 3 goals unanswered in the second half and try and claim a draw out of this. But Arsenal have been far, by large, the better side. Far, miles better. There's no doubt about it. We've got a minute of the 2 left to play at the end of the first half, and I think we've deserved our 15-minute. I've deserved my 15-minute voice break. That is for sure. Russ will round up all the weekend's fixtures and preview the big one tomorrow. There's another match tomorrow, of course, and it's a fierce derby between Crystal Palace and Brighton and Hove Albion. 2 teams that have been involved in sort of a dispute or a real fierce rivalry for over 40 years now. And it was to do with the poaching of Alan Mullery as manager. I think it was by Palace or Brighton, or one out of the two anyway. And that rivalry just transpired from there on in. They play off each other at Selhurst at Selhurst Park tomorrow evening, 8 o'clock kick-off. Of course, we'll have some women's football for you this week, midweek, of course. And here's Ndombele now as the referee bowls for half-time. But what a terrific first half for Arsenal. They couldn't have gone. It couldn't have gone any better for them. Emil Smith-Rowe got the first after a terrific move started by Odegaard. Saka's cross back, and he swept in the first one. Then he laid on the second one. Smith-Rowe from the left-hand side, cut back for Aubameyang, tapped it in with his left foot, and then once again Saka involved, made the chance for himself and made it 3. And at the moment, all 3 goal scorers have got a bid for player of the match at the moment. It could be hard to choose here as we go off the field. And I'll ask Russ this before I hand back. Is there a rule that we can do joint player of the match? Because quite frankly, it's going to be a hard decision in the second half if this keeps up. But I can tell you now, as I'll leave you for 10-15 minutes, I can tell you that half-time here at the Tottenham, at the Emirates Stadium rather, it's Arsenal 3, Tottenham Hotspur 0. Here's Russ.
Thank you very much, JB. And in the answer to your question, my friend, the answer to that question you've asked me is no. You've got to choose just one player of the match. You've got to narrow it down to just one, which I know you said is going to be very hard at this moment in time. In the earlier game today, which took place in the Premier League, and I can tell you it finished Southampton 0, Wolves 1, with the goal coming from Raul Jimenez, an assist by goalkeeper Jose Sarr. In the other Premier League game today, in the Women's Super League, there's been 4 matches already, and this is how the games have gone that played already. Finished Manchester United 1, Chelsea 6, Brighton 0, Aston Villa 1, Tottenham 1, Reading 0. So any Tottenham fans listening, at least your women's side got a win today. Because the men's side turning this one around. West Ham United 4, Leicester City 0. And later, Arsenal fans, can your women's side get another win later? They're taking on Manchester City with 6:45 this evening after we finished on air. In the Women's Championship, 6 matches taking place today. They finished Bristol City 0, Durham 2, Charlton 2, Blackburn 0, Liverpool 2, Crystal Palace 1, London City Lionesses 2, Coventry United 2, Sheffield United 3, Watford 0, Sunderland 1, Lose 1 is the score. Or shall I say the results there. In the Euro 2017 qualification first stage, finished Czech Republic 4, Lithuania 0. Sweden against Latvia was cancelled. In the French League 1, it finished Bordeaux 1, Rennes 1, Brest 1, Metz 2, Reims 3, Nantes 1, Troyes 1-1 with Angers, and Troyes finished the game with 10 men. Latest score in the second half is Clermont 1, Monaco 2, Marseille v Lens is a quarter-way kick-off. In the German Bundesliga, finished Bochum 0, Stuttgart 0 at Freiburg. They're currently leading 3-0 against Augsburg at half-time. In the Italian Serie A, some games played earlier on today, finished Juventus 3, Sampdoria 2. Earlier today, in that game, Empoli 4, Bologna 2, Sassuolo 1, Salernitana 0, Udinese 0, Fiorentina 1, and the latest score in Serie A is Lazio 2, Roma 0. In the Dutch Eredivisie, it finished Sparta Rotterdam 0, Cambuur 4, AZ Alkmaar 5, Go Ahead Eagles 0, Heerenveen 2, FC 23, and the latest score is Hercules 1, Waalwijk 0, with 6 minutes to go in that one. In the Portuguese League, 2 games kick off later after we finish on air today. Santa Clara take on Braga and Portimonense take on Rizala later on this evening. In the Russian Premier League, finished Dynamo Moscow 2, Rubin Kazan 0, FK Rostov 1, Akhmat Rozhny 2, and in the latest scores, Krasnodar 2, Sochi 1. In the Scottish Premiership, we finished St Mirren 3, Aberdeen 2. Aberdeen finishing the game with 10 men. Celtic 1, Dundee United 1, and Hibernian 1, St Johnstone 0. Scottish Championship, Wraith Rovers 3, Partick Thistle 2 is a full-time score. In La Liga, of early results, Mallorca 2, Osasuna 3, Barcelona 3, Levante 0 is the full-time scores. Real Sociedad take on Elche, Rayo Vallecano take on Cadiz later at 5:30, while Betis take on Getafe at 8 o'clock this evening. In the MLS, these are results. New England Revolution 2, Orlando City 1, Columbus Crew 2, Club de Foot Montreal 1, DC United 4, FC Cincinnati 2, Colorado Rapids versus Toronto FC ended goalless. Minnesota United beat Houston Dynamo by 2-0. New York City lost 1-0 to New York Red Bulls. San Jose Earthquakes beat Los Angeles Football Club by 2-0. Vancouver Whitecaps beat FC Dallas by 1-0. Portland Timbers 6, Real Salt Lake 1. Chicago Fire take on Nashville Soccer Club at 6 p.m. today. In a friendly international, we finished Sweden under 16s 2, Norway 1, and the latest score is Nepal 0, Oman 1 after just 29 minutes. That is in that one. And we'll just meet some club friendly matches. Couple of from Ireland: Fairhouse 3, Cherry Orchard 3, Kilmarnock 3, Liffey Wanderers 3, and then there's 3 other friendlies from teams in Brazil that kick off. 2 kick off at 7, which is Bonesco versus Manza, Maganese versus Cremidos RJ at 7 o'clock. And Comical PL take on Timon. That is at 7:45 this evening. It's a World Cup friendly matches. So that's just taking around the scores at the moment in time. Yesterday I was at Ellen Road as Leeds United lost 2-1 to West Ham in a game which, as JB mentioned, was some controversy. I'm just, while we wait for the second half here, I'll just read you some of the quotes from Marcelo Bielsa after the game. And Bielsa, on how cool the result was to take after the performance, he said, the two teams with different realities, he explained. In this case, they found the triumph, and I don't think we deserve to lose, but I imagine the opponent's manager, David Moyes, thinks that they deserve to win. When a team finds itself in good moment, they obtain these recompenses, and when a team accumulates negative results, they don't find a lot of things that they deserve. Bielsa was asked why Leeds United Brazilian Rafinha was substituted against West Ham United, and Bielsa said, he let us know that he was becoming difficult to stay on the pitch. Through the whole week, he was recovering from the knock he received against Newcastle, and he played a great game as long as he could stay on the field. He was asked where Adam Forshaw was after he wasn't included in the squad against West Ham United, was included in the matchday squad against Fulham and featured as a second half, substituting their Carabao Cup win. And Bielsa said Forshaw had a tear in the posterior part of his thigh. When asked how bad the injury was and if he was going to be out for a long period of time, Bielsa said with muscular injury, he usually consume month's time. Forshaw makes enormous efforts not to injure himself, but after 2 years out, it takes longer to get back into the swing of things. He was also asked how he thought Charles Creswell did, the young Leeds United defender who was only 19 after he made his Premier League debut against the Hammers at Ellen Road yesterday, a game which I was at, and he said, yes, it was a performance with a lot of personality and character. Very few errors, composing himself in a very, very difficult game against a striker who was very difficult to neutralise. For a young player who took a long time to earn this opportunity, like he did so against Fulham. So that's just some of the quotes what Bielsa had to say after the game yesterday for Leeds United against West Ham United. Bielsa very rarely criticises his players for defeats. He always takes the defeats and blames himself for the defeats rather than any of the players on the field of play. He always takes responsibility, does Marcelo Bielsa. I've seen a few fans wanting Bielsa out. I'm not one of those, but I've seen a few wanting him gone already. I was watching a channel earlier and he was on there saying, should Bielsa be sacked now? And I don't think he should, but I did say that Bielsa were to be sacked or Bielsa did resign and walk away, which I don't think he'll do that either, guys, just to put it out there. I think Leeds will lose the likes of Calvin Phillips mainly, probably Rafinha, Meslier, maybe Bamford, all the key players to this Leeds United squad. We'll probably lose maybe Stuart Dallas as well, probably Dan James, maybe, even though we've only just signed him, he may decide to move on. But it just depends, see how the rest of this season goes. I don't think Leeds will go down, but we just have to wait and see how this goes. Leeds yet to win a game in the Premier League this season, just like Burnley. Sorry, JB, we said together. Just had to get that in there, my friend. Hopefully you don't hear me. After that, we're getting ready for the second half coverage very, very shortly. I was just awaiting the players coming out onto the field of play at the Emirates so we can get back underway in the second half of the match. We will push live to JB once we see the players emerging down below us, as we're still waiting those to come out at this moment in time. Just a bit of a pre-match build-up. I can see on the monitor in front of me for the women's game, which I mentioned later, for Arsenal against Manchester City. We can just look us back on some of the goals. This is the first from Smith Rowe. Here's his second now from Aubameyang. Well, but all the three goals were well taken by Arsenal incidentally. And JB, you've called it spot on so far, so give yourself a pat on the back. Hopefully you've got your breath back now as well, JB, because we're getting them ready to be back across to you. It was a pulsating first half of action. So we'll get back to JB very, very short. Just waiting for the players to emerge before handing back over to JB. And I can tell you, the players are emerging, and I can tell you Spurs are going to make 2 alterations as well. And to tell you through the alterations and of course the second half of this match. Time for me to hand over to your big match commentator for the second half. It's over to you, JB. Can Tottenham get anything out of this, I wonder? I don't think so. JB?
Thank you, Ross, and welcome back, everybody. Well, it's going to be a tall order now as Royal and Oliver Skip are about to enter the fray. As Ross was saying, double substitution time. And we'll just have to see how this one plays out. As Oliver Skip now comes on, a young lad that has shown much promise, and we're going to see Royal now, one of their newer signings, come on. And we'll get those substitutions confirmed, so I can tell you that those 2 are on. We don't know who's gone off, is the answer to that question, but we'll find out when they get that confirmed. Arsenal unchanged from the first half, get us up and running now in the second half, and they're attacking the goal to my right, or to my left rather, and Tottenham attacking the clock end in the second half here at the Emirates. Chipped forward by Saka towards Aubameyang and headed out once again. So we'll try and get those substitutions confirmed. I can tell you that Royal is on and Oliver Skip is on. We're not sure who's been replaced with, but we'll soon find out now. And it's Dele Alli and Tanganga who are both off. So that's been confirmed. We've got a very good producer with us today, and I didn't take kindly to the fact that I needed reminding that Burnley are not won a game yet. But that could all change next week when Norwich visit the turf. Anyway, 3-0 to Tottenham here, 3-0 against Tottenham here, as you see Ali and Tanganga both off. And Emerson Royal is the man that's come on. It's Emerson Royal. And so we'll just have to see how this one pans out. Emerson Royal is a very good promising player. Has he got the royal seal of approval? I aim to add. Here's Saka now for Arsenal. Here's Thomas Partey lining up the shot just wide of the target. It was a good effort there by the right foot there of Thomas Partey. Terrific player. world class on his day. There's no doubt about that. Has he got possession there? So let me just run through the two teams. Arsenal with Ramsdale in goal. They're unchanged from the first half. So it's Ramsdale in goal, Tierney, White, Gabriel and Samasu the back four. And it's Partey, Xhaka, Smith Rowe, Odegaard, Saka, with Aubameyang up front. Tottenham with two changes, Lloris in goal, Regulin, Sanchez, Dyer and Skip at the back. And then it's Oibie, Royal and Ndombele with Son, Kane and Moura up front. So two of the substitutes used, of course. They've got left Spurs out of their substitution. Golini, the goalkeeper, Romero, Gill, Roden, Lo Celso, Davis and Dane Scarlett, the young lad. Arsenal's substitutes, Bert Leno, Alex Lacazette, Rob Holding, Ainsley Maitland-Niles, Cedric Suarez, Nicola Pepe, Tavares, Lokonga and Martinelli. Referee, of course, Craig Pawson. And the VAR referee, Stuart Atwell. It's had a quiet afternoon. And, compared to some of the games that we've seen a lot of VAR, especially at Brentford yesterday, and at Leicester Burnley, and at Leeds against West Ham yesterday, VAR was used quite a lot. As Saka picks the ball up for Arsenal. I'll get my views on what Russ said at half time about some Leeds fans wanting Bielsa sacked. I think that's a little bit of a knee-jerk reaction. I think you've got to rely on Bielsa. I think it would be a shame if he got sacked at this point in time. He's building a decent squad there. They just haven't started as well as they would have liked, and they've been good in some games. They were good yesterday, and they possibly didn't deserve to lose that one to West Ham. They were certainly robbed, I felt, by a couple of VAR decisions. Anyway, back to today, and Tottenham can't say the same. They've not been robbed at all. They've been absolutely poleaxed by 3-0 as things stand. They played just like Anthony Joshua fought last night, with no desire whatsoever. But Nuno's reacted, and I think the attitude of some players, including Tanganga and Dele Alli, who've been taken off. I think Dele Alli is, people rave about him a lot. I don't see what's to get excited about. The last two seasons he's not been good enough, and I think he's got a serious attitude problem, certainly in terms of his play. He was an England international of the future, was a regular in Gareth Southgate's England squad, and now he's definitely out in the cold. He had this opportunity today in the biggest game of the season for both Arsenal and Tottenham to prove his worth, and in 45 minutes I have to say he was a complete utter shambles. But and so was Tanganga. But the damage, I fear, for Tottenham may be done unless they can score 3 goals. Replied, and of course I've got to choose one man in the match. Russ said no to my joint man in the match vote. I've got to and that's fair enough. Even I did laugh at him when he said that. Anyway, it's me, JB, in the commentary box as Arsenal come streaming forward. 3 goals to the good, and they're in possession with Odegaard. Back to Aubameyang, who got the second goal. Smith Rowe got the first, Saka the third. And away by Lloris with the left foot. And headed away by Xhaka. Midway inside the Tottenham half, Smith Rowe was tackled very well by Emerson Royal, the new man on the field. You'll need to put in a very royal and regal second half, that is for sure, as Tierney takes the throw in now for Arsenal. 3 goals to the good, and you've got to look at it from a serious point of view. Deservedly so. Smith Rowe again gets the one on Royal. In fact, it's Royal that's going into the Tanganga role at right back, and Oliver Skip is in that 3-man midfield. So apologies there, I got the formations a little bit mixed up at the start of the second half. Anyway, here's Emerson Rowe, number 12 in possession. Gets the ball down the line, finds Lucas Moura, who's tackled there, so a throw in it is to Tottenham on halfway. They trail by 3 goals to nil, remember, and have made 2 substitutions. And another throw to Tottenham. They're just creeping up down that right-hand touchline into the Arsenal half at the moment. But they need to be going at it hammer and tongs if they're going to get anything out of this game, even a point. They'd have to score a whopping 3 times, and Domboy's ball was a poor one. Here's Saka now getting over halfway, and Tommaso has made a good break on that far side, looking for Aubameyang, gets a nick off the defender, and it's a corner kick for Arsenal. Tommaso's cross admits he's not the best, but in fairness to him, did well there to yield the corner. Odegaard's going to take it from the far side. Can Arsenal extend the lead to 4, I wonder? They've certainly been good value for their 3-goal lead. Can they do more damage? Odegaard from the corner. Back in there by Smith Rowe, and Tommaso tried a little bit of a scoot volley, if you like, but didn't come off. Here's Saka on the far side, faced by Oliver Skip. Takes on Skip, here's Saka, and then faced by Son, and he's played a little bit more into the penalty area. Smith Rowe just trying to do a bit too much, maybe. Gets it back to Odegaard, who chips it in there terrifically well. Aubameyang's header, and that was almost the 4th. That was almost the 4th one. And Arsenal actually wants a penalty, I think. Well, I think they're appealing to the referee here. They think there might have been a high foot in there. When they're surrounding Craig Pawson furiously. Now let's see what their gripes all about. Well, I'm not quite sure what they're complaining about here. Let's have a look. There's the possible push there from Davinson Sanchez. Let's see. I tell you what, he's pushed him. I think they may have a case for a possible penalty. Arteta thought it was. He's been, honestly, if you could have a fly-in-the-wall camera on him right now, all sorts of expressions. Anyway, it's only a corner, and the cross came in, and Tommaso headed it straight at Lloris. It was a very tame header into the floor, and the goalkeeper took it no problem. 53 gone. Still Arsenal 3, Tottenham 0. All the goals incidentally coming in the first half after 30 odd minutes. And Tommaso with a friendly arm there, possibly. Or was it? No, free kick is Rowan's been awarded to Arsenal. Reguilon's not having much luck there. Oh, really, Reguilon? I mean, Tommaso had nowhere near his face. And Reguilon's trying to make it out as something he's not. And I'm glad the referee actually has since sent and played on. And it shows that Craig Pawson is not falling for that stupid tactic from Reguilon. Tommaso never even touched his face. And he was holding his mouth there as Tottenham comes charging forward, looking to get one back. Ramsdale yet to be beaten in the Arsenal goal since joining from Sheffield United, of course. Ball played into the penalty area, and it's not a good one. And Spurs, well, they're looking for anything now to try and get a foothold in this game, but I'm sorry. I think Reguilon's play acting there was a shameful exhibition, and it's something that Jimmy Greaves would be ashamed of looking down on there. That is unbelievably poor. Arsenal 3, Tottenham 0, 10 minutes gone in the second half. All the goals, incidentally, if you just joined us, coming all in the first half. Tottenham mainly making 2 substitutions now. Reguilon gets the ball into the penalty area, looking for Kane, but he can't be found. And Kane looks a forlorn figure up front, quite honestly. Showed a bit of passion in trying to defend on the 3rd goal, which was a bit unlucky, which he was a bit lucky because he got the tackle in, but it went to Saka and he got the 3rd in. Here's Oliver Skip now for Tottenham. Skip plays the ball into the area, deflects, and Kane goes down. Now what does the referee give here? It's right on the edge of the penalty area. He gives nothing. He thinks that Kane may have simulated or dived. Ben White was close at hand as well. He was involved as well. Let's have a look at that again. Well, hard to be sure. Ball deflects into his path. Oh, I think that would have been just on the edge if he'd have been given. I think, was it inside the box? It was on the line anyway. Could have been a penalty, but the referee said no. And his decision is final. And Aubameyang has gone down. And he won't get a free kick either. After a good little bit of shoulder charging there from Emerson Ryle. Referee making one or two decisions there, taking the law into his own hands, so to speak, and refereeing it well. He's a free for standard approved official. And both Kane and Aubameyang could have had cases for free kicks or possible penalties. Certainly in Harry Kane's case anyway, because it was right on the line, and under the laws of the game, if it's on the line, it's a penalty. It's inside the box. Anyway, Arsenal 3, Tottenham 0 is the scoreline. And we've had 57 minutes now of the game, 12 minutes of the second half. And Arsenal, terrific value. First half, 55-45 in Arsenal's favour. Different second half, 40% Arsenal, 60% Tottenham. And of course, the stats are provided for this year for the Premier League, Oracle Cloud. And we are listening to the commentary hub, and of course, in association with our broadcast partners for the season. That's JB Sports, JDAC Football, Storm FM, TC Up 2, Periscope, Twitter and Twitch. We have a Twitter, of course, as well as streaming the games on Twitter. We use our Twitter handle at Commentary Live 1, incidentally. We use it to make announcements and votes and Christ knows whatever else we can put on. We have a Facebook page as well, www.facebook.com/the Commentary Hub. And our Melon and our streaming partners for the season, Melon Streaming App, www.melonstreamingapp.com. If you want to know a bit more about what they can offer you in terms of streaming. Of course, the player of the match, which I've got to choose in about half an hour's time, is sponsored by Commentary Services. Here's Emerson Ryle in possession now for Tottenham, who trail 3-0. Here's Moira's cross, and an easy one there for Aaron Ramsdale. Climbed up above Kane and carried it in beautifully. And Lucas Moura's not really been with it today, I have to be honest. Tottenham, the supporters, ashen-faced and glum, and no wonder. Their team have been well and truly taken to the cleaners, although they've had a good little bit of possession. The attendance, incidentally, is 59,919. 59919. 59,919. Great turnout. Nearly 60,000 at the Emirates for this North London derby today. Terrific turnout as we go into we're now into late summer, early autumn here, as the sun now beams down on this fantastically atmospheric Emirates Stadium, with Tottenham won a free kick on the right hand side, left hand side, far side as we look. Son Heung-min of South Korea is going to take this. Dias forward, Davison Sanchez is forward. Can Spurs get on the board and just make it a slightly nervous last half hour maybe for the Arsenal? Well, we'll just have to wait and see. Arsenal leading 3-0 with nearly an hour gone. Son comes in, strikes it into the penalty area, but it's too close to the goalkeeper, Aaron Ramsdale. He could easily have put his cap on. He could have had his breakfast, dinner and tea and still caught that. Feeble free kick really from Son Heung-min. He's capable of much better than that, it has to be said. So an hour played, 15 gone in the second half. Arsenal 3, Tottenham 0. Tottenham having most of the play second half, but really creating next to nothing with it. As Skip now comes charging forward, finds Harry Kane. Kane now looking to feed Skip, and he can't be found there, Oliver Skip. Here's Emerson Ryle. Here's Harry Kane, who strikes outside the area. That's a good save. Some might get in on the rebound, but what a good challenge that was from Tomasu. Aaron Ramsdale diving away to his right as he looked. Got a big right hand on it. Harry Kane might have been on target as he struck it. Good football this from Spurs. Best from what we've seen. That was going in the far corner. And Aaron Ramsdale keeping that clean sheet record intact at the moment. Here's Spurs corner. Goal kick to Arsenal. It has to be, surely, yes. Aaron Ramsdale, superb goalkeeping here. Looked as if Harry Kane was going to add to the 11 North London derby goals he's already got in his career, which is an all-time record for the fixture. And he nearly made it 12 there. But Ramsdale stretched like Stretch Armstrong and got the big right hand out and palmed it out. Even though Son was coming in on the rebound, Tomasu was there to mop up any scraps and knock it away. And Arsenal remain 3 goals clear, but at the moment they've not been at it second half, Arsenal, and they've taken their foot off the gas a little bit. But the clean sheet is still on for them. The 3-goal margin is still there. And if they just keep doing the basics right, then all will be well. It's all about the bragging rights when you're going to work on a Monday morning. I suppose there'll be a lot of Arsenal Tottenham fans in that part of the world as Kane goes forward and Kane shoots and he's put it wide. Oh, I can't believe that. Well, it's very rare I get to say that as a commentator, because normally 99 times out of 100 in those positions Kane puts them away. He gets through there, mere bosh his opponent out of the way in doing so, but he's chipped it over Ramsdale and somehow he's managed to chip the ball wide off the far right hand post, and it might have even shaved it. Goal kick to Arsenal. That's probably the best chance that Tottenham have fashioned in the entire game. But when Kane gets into those positions, your mind even just thinks at least just one thing. It usually means goal. Unfortunately for Harry Kane on that occasion, it didn't mean goal, and it's a very rare thing to see that. We'd be definitely better in goal if it was in an England jersey. There's and Dumble's gone down there, but Xhaka doesn't need to get involved, I don't think, there. This is going to end himself in all sorts of trouble. This is what happened now. It's Xhaka involved here. He's wrestled him to the ground. I don't know what the double is there crying about, but it's a definite foul. But he's only shoved it. He's only pulled it to the ground. They're all friends again, but Xhaka's running the risk now of getting a booking. If he's not careful, he should have had one, arguably, in the first half. Pawson let it ride, and I can't remember a yellow card actually being brandished in the 63 minutes that's gone before. Coming up towards the 64th now. It's Arsenal 3, Tottenham 0, but Tottenham had a couple of good opportunities. Here's Lucas Moura. Was he charged from behind? No, said the referee. Telling Lucas Moura to get back on his feet. Tierney and Ramsdale just having a little bit of a conflab. 27% to 73% Tottenham. Last 10 minutes, 23% of course to Arsenal. Tottenham 73. Here's Maurice, who's been underemployed but has been beaten 3 times. Admittedly all in the first half, but he's been underemployed in the second half. Might have some work to do here, but good Tottenham defending now. Nuno will probably point out that why couldn't we have done that in the first half, and Arteta's still there. He's just on the edge of the technical area and he's barking out instructions every 4 seconds here, and he's just absolutely going about it. 8 attempts apiece, 5 on target for Arsenal, 3 goals to them, 2 on target for Tottenham, no goals to them. It's been that sort of an afternoon, really. Tottenham really haven't been played, didn't really turn up until after the break, and it looks as if it's going to be too little too late. Here's Smith Rowe for Arsenal rather. And here's Tomasu. He's had another decent game. Saka now, been a little bit quiet by his standards second half, but which we've had 20 minutes off. Now Partey. Can Arsenal score a 4th one, I wonder, and try and make the half an hour a little bit more easier for them. Smith Rowe is definitely in my thoughts for player of the match. So too is Bukayo Saka as well. Here's Odegaard just pirouettes back, and Partey now has a bit of possession and getting out to that far side. Here's Bukayo Saka. He's had a terrific game, by the way. Odegaard, no score, no goal for him, but he's certainly played a part in a couple of the goals this afternoon and how well he has played. Here's Tierney, and Partey goes down. Free kick to Arsenal, and Oliver Skipp is going to get the first booking of the match. The substitute who came on at half time, Oliver Skipp, is going to get the yellow card. And Skipp actually accepts his punishment with no great complaints. He knew it was a late challenge. The ball had gone. and that's a definite bookable event. So fair decision that from the referee. Oliver Skip becomes the first man into Craig Pawson's notepad, and we've played 66.5 minutes. Aaron Ramsdale looks as if he's still on course for that third clean sheet out of a possible 3 here today. Enjoying it there with the Arsenal fans, big smile towards them there as he takes a sip of drink at the other end. And the Arsenal fans whipping up a real atmosphere now. When they're ahead in the games, Arsenal, their supporters are always behind them. I don't think there's any question or any doubt about it. They are enjoying life at the moment. The Spurs fans, not so, I don't think. Arsenal yet to make a change. We've played 67 minutes of the game, going up to the halfway point of the second half. 67 gone. Arsenal have a free kick. Smith Rowe and Odegaard, the two-man committee. Now, what can they cook up here, the Arsenal lads? Jack is actually standing in an offside position, and just realised he's got to get himself back on. It's going to be left to Odegaard to chip it in towards the far post. Ball knocked across, and whoa, terrific volley there. I think it was Tomasu, the Japanese defender, who smashed it. No, it wasn't. It was Aubameyang, I should say. Aubameyang to take a deeper position towards the right-hand side, and tell you what, if he connected it with a bit more ferocity, that might have gone through release and into the back of the net, and we would have been talking about one of the goals of the season and the goals of the weekend. Certainly up there with Maxwell Cornet's for Burnley yesterday against Leicester. Sad that Cornet had to go off with a hamstring, but it's unfortunate really. But when he was on the field yesterday, my word, didn't he play like a man possessed. Burnley, when Burnley have got him fit, I think Burnley have got a world-class player on their hands. Here's Saka again. He's definitely world-class. He's proved it in the last 12 months. Certainly with England. He's more than capable enough to be playing for England. A terrific player. I love the way he plays. Very positive in the way that he attacks. The way he knocks the ball out of play, and he's furious with his defenders right now. It's a rueful look there, the Tottenham captain, all in yellow. Beaten 3 times, had little or no chance. Spurs are about to make a first substitution as they try and get themselves back into this now. Brian Gill is about to come on for Ndombele, so Brian Hill will come on now for the remaining 21 minutes plus injury time. Now we've had 69 minutes of the game here. And still it's Arsenal 3, Tottenham 0, and it's no substitutions yet used by Mikel Arteta, I should say. But 3 have been used by Espirito Santo as his team look to try and reduce the arrears from where they are at the moment. They're 3-0 down as we approach the last 20 minutes of this match. Here on the commentary hub. And here they go now as Hill makes his first touch, tries to get Regulin down the far side, but well policed there by Ben White, former Brighton player. And as Russ quite rightly corrected me, our producer and presenter today, he's corrected me in saying that Brighton were his parent club when he was on loan at Leeds United, so I'm told. Just having 1 or 2 technical problems, but what I'll do while we're getting things back for you is just run you through the goal scorers for Arsenal as it happened. First goal set up really by Saka, terrific ball, terrific little cut back and into the back of the net for 1-0. And then the second goal beautifully taken by Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, that made it 2. And then Arsenal just ran riot at that point. They just looked absolutely unplayable at that point, and made it 3 towards the end, and have been absolute terrific value for their 3-goal lead at this moment in time. At the moment, so Spurs have had a couple of opportunities. Harry Kane's come close a few times to try and add to his goal, and here come Arsenal now on the break, and a good save by Lloris, diving away to his right-hand side, and he almost got a 4th one, and Saka almost got his 2nd with 73 minutes gone. Great save. Odegaard's going to take the corner now. Here it comes into the penalty area towards the far side. And the volley, an attempt at a volley there. I think it was Aubameyang, and he just fell flat on his face there. But Arsenal almost adding a fourth. Saka nearly provided it. Here comes Ramsdale. Looks like it's 3 clean sheets on the bounce for him if it stays this way. Arsenal have certainly made Harvey weather of the second half, but they're in that position where they can afford to at the moment. And that's good play from Aubameyang, really defending from the front today and not giving Spurs a chance to get the ball forward. And there's a grimace on Hugo Lloris's face, which says it all. And Granit Xhaka is actually seriously hurt by the looks of it. He's grimacing there. And Saka's gone down as well. So 2 Arsenal players are on the floor at the moment. Oh, and Teta waving his arms around. I think that's Mr. Henry in the crowd. It definitely is. An old school Arsenal shirt and glasses on. You wouldn't tell it was Mr. Henry, would you? But he certainly had a good... Well, if he's paid a few quid for the executive box, he certainly had value for money, Thierry, that's for sure. He's certainly seen Arsenal play with some va-va-voom this afternoon, hasn't he? Absolutely, for sure. I think that's his young son there. He's certainly got a bit of a va-va-voom hairstyle, that's for sure, as well. Anyway, Arsenal, I think, preparing some substitutions back on the field with a quarter of an hour left to play. Live on the TC Hub, JB Sports, JDAT Football, Storm FM, Periscope, Twitter and Twitch and TC Hub 2. Saka also been summoned to the touchline so he can receive treatment. There's going to be a substitution for Arsenal as well. Looks like it's Lokonga who's going to come on, number 23. Saka looks as if he's going to be all right there. And, he's a strong young lad. Buckaroo Saka. He's a strong old lad, strong young lad, that's for sure. And I don't think it'll faze him too much. So we're going to see Lokonga come on for Arsenal in just a few moments. Arsenal in possession, knocking out of play. Throwing, Gabriel knocking it out, and Mora to take it. He's going to leave it to Emerson Royal. Royal takes it back to Lucas Moura. Davinson Sanchez now for Arsenal, for Tottenham, sorry. Here's Moura for Spurs, lost out once more. Then Dyer picks up possession, looks towards his centre-back colleague, which is Sanchez. Now a chance here now for Son now, who takes possession from pass by Moura. Dyer, how Oliver Skip rather has possession. Regular now, back to Skip. Spurs looking to attack, but retreating backwards because Arsenal have brought lots of defenders back behind the ball. All 11 men are behind the ball now for Arsenal. They've got to protect that clean sheet. Working so hard to earn at the moment as Emerson Royal tries a little break on the right. And he goes again, plays a 1-2 with Højbjerg. Here's Højbjerg again, out of play, throwing to Tottenham. Around the corner quadrant, almost in line of the Arsenal 6-yard box. Here's Davinson Sanchez. Here's Emerson Royal, first time cross with the right foot. Just well behind Harry Kane that time. 13 minutes plus injury time to play here at the Emirates and the big match of the weekend in the Premier League. And it's Arsenal 3, Tottenham Hotspur 0. Play on, says the referee. There's an Arsenal player poleaxed on the edge of the area and he looks seriously hurt. But Spurs played on. Son Heung-min has scored. Son Heung-min has put the ball past Aaron Ramsdale and Spurs have a lifeline. Just a slender lifeline perhaps, but they've got one. 3-1. Son Heung-min the scorer. Granit Xhaka is down hurt, holding his knee. Now, I wonder what happened here. Let's see. Well, there was a bit of a collision there. The goal, I think, has been given. And producer Ross hasn't counted it yet, unless we're looking at it from a different viewpoint. I'm not quite sure, but anyway, something's going on anyway. Son has pulled one back for Spurs, that I can tell you at the moment. Got a little bit of confusion here because we've lost footage, but at the moment it's 3-1, and as things quite rightly stand, so Son Heung-min has pulled one back, and all of a sudden Spurs have got about 12 minutes to pull another two back, and they might even pinch a draw out of this, and Arsenal may well kick themselves. The clean sheet has obviously gone, and it's disappointing really from an Arsenal's perspective, because they were doing everything in their power to keep that clean sheet record alive, but that's gone now. We're still having one or two difficulties with the technical side of things. Our tech boys will try and figure that one out, and as I try and keep going for the next few moments. It's been such a good game of football, though, one has to say, in a lot of respects, because the game has been played in a terrific spirit, and I've thoroughly enjoyed bringing it to you folks, I have to be honest with you, but we've lost moving pitches, so we'll just try and keep with it, and it's been that sort of an afternoon really. Even that, or things are a bit slow on my end, I'm not sure, but it's 3-1 as we say. And Russ hasn't changed that at the moment. We're having one or two technical faults, I'm afraid, guys, and we'll try and bring them to you. This is a wee bit disappointing, actually. I've got to be honest. So we'll try and get back. We'll try and get it back for you as soon as we can. And we don't prophesise when these things unfortunately happen, but. And the sad thing is, it's been a terrifically played, well played North London derby up until this point, and that's the sad thing about it at the moment. Hopefully we'll get the game back up and running. Looks as if we could have something back now. Let's just wait and see what happens. Hopefully we'll have some moving pictures for us to commentate off. Things are just going a little bit. Things are just going a little bit slowly at the moment, unfortunately. But these things unfortunately happen. We can't, as I say, prophesise for that. But I can tell you that it's 3-1 now. Unless something untoward really happens now. And we haven't got anything to commentate on at the moment, I'm afraid, but what I can do is, what I might ask Russ to do is to give me another. Well, we're a bit all over the place at the moment. We've lost our feeds, and everything's gone. I don't know what Sky are playing at the moment, I'll be honest with you. We're having one or two technical issues at the moment, and I can't tell you how frustrating that is right now. Massive technical issues, and I want to obviously we want to keep commentating on this, but
JB, what I can tell you, mate, is Granit Xhaka has just been helped off. He's gone down injured.
Yeah.
And he's just been helped off the field of play right now to a standing ovation from.
Well, that's good news.
Arsenal fans, as he's been limped off, and number 23 Sambilla Conga will be the man replacing him due to his injuries, moving very, very gingerly, limping as he comes off, as he's been helped off by the physio.
Right, no problem. Well, that is sad news really for Arsenal, but that is for sure. But 3-0, 3-1 they lead, and hopefully we can get some commentary for you before the end of this game. I do apologise, folks. We try and bring you these games, and we try not to. We don't bank. We hope we never bank on technical errors, spoiling everyone's fun. But unfortunately, we've hit a few gremlins in the system, and we're not able to bring you any commentary. Might be updates, but let's hope we can get some pictures back and we can finish the match off for you. And I'm still going to choose a player of the match, incidentally. So I've got that to think about in the next few moments or two. But at the moment it's 3-1 to Arsenal. We've lost Granit Xhaka as well, and in fact I'm going to just choose a player of the match while we're waiting to get any commentary going again, because obviously well I'm not seeing anything. I might as well try and choose my reasoning as for player of the match, and the player of the match I'm going to go to, it's a toss-up really between Saka and Smith Rowe, and I'm going to go just by a whisker for Emil Smith Rowe. He was terrific in that first half. Really looked quality every time he got on the ball, and I think I think the way that he's played, he's been terrific. He's been really terrific. So my player of the match is Emil Smith Rowe of Arsenal. I think by and large, I think he's had a fantastic match, and I've really enjoyed watching him play. I know it's probably a little bit early in the day for man of the match, but I thought I'd choose it now and get it out the way. We're absolutely sure. So it's 3-1, that is for sure. We're still having one or two difficulties. I'm now.
Eric Dyer's just got possession, JB. If you just stand for outside, what's happening is Dyer's just playing it to Sanchez. Arsenal just trying to get the ball back off Spurs at this moment in time. Sanchez just playing the ball around across the back to Dyer, and now Spurs will come forward on our left hand side and try and attack and get that another goal back as Brian goes on the overlap on the left hand side, crossing towards Son, is cleared away by Lokonga, and then the header coming in from Reguilon is through to Aaron Ramsdale, who when Harry Kane comes towards him, picks up the ball and falls onto it. 84 minutes gone, JB, still 3-1 Arsenal.
Thanks, Ross. If you could actually help me find the link, that'd be great. Yeah, well, I'm still having difficulties getting moving pictures, unfortunately. Hopefully something will happen here today, and it's sad really, because this has probably been one of the best commentaries I've produced for the hub, and then the gremlins strike and you don't, and then that frustrates one. But at least Russ is trying to keep us in the loop. I feel like storming out the com box at the moment, the way I'm feeling at the moment. I've got to be honest with you, I feel as sick as a parrot at the moment, not being able to bring any commentary for you. But we'll keep going here. But I hate it when things like this break down, and we've got to, and it is absolutely ridiculous. Hopefully Russ will help me get back on as well, and we can give you some commentary to finish off the day for you here. But it's 3-1, I can tell you that, and the goal scorers in chronological order. Well, Arsenal score through Smith Rowe, Aubameyang and Saka. Son Heung-min with the reply for Tottenham. Saka's been stretched off, but at the moment I can't give you anything at the moment, unfortunately. It's been absolutely
Arsenal making a substitution, JB. Maitland-Niles is coming on for the goal scorer of Arsenal's third, Bukayo Saka, and I'm just seeing that third goal again. Wonderful worked third goal across the keeper, Lloris, in the end into that for corner. It is still 3-1, and Arsenal will make another. Looks like Arsenal may be making another change as well in a minute. I'll try and see who that is. I think the other change is Emil Smith throw off, and it is. And Emil Smith throw is replaced by Nuno Tavares, it looks like to me, JB. And it is Nuno Tavares, I have just got that confirmed.
Fantastic, and hopefully I can come back on as well in a second or two and get commentary going for the last sort of few moments as well. So Arsenal still leading 3 goals to 1, and looks like we might get some commentary towards the end here. And hopefully we'll be back live with the commentary in just a second, and we are back live. We're now into the last minute of the game, and we're back live with you now. I can take this now to the very end now, but it's been a frustrating 10 minutes or so, but we haven't missed any goals, mercifully, and Arsenal, as I enjoyed play, have a free kick towards the end of this match. And as I say, I'm going to give Emil Smith-Rowe the player of the match. I think he's been absolutely superb. And here is number 23 now, who's just Laganga, who came on as a substitution earlier on in the day. But mercifully, we've not missed a goal today. So that's been one blessing in disguise. We've played in 90 minutes. We've got 5 added now. Thank you for Russ for his help over the last sort of 4 or 5 minutes when we've been having some gremlins. But now we're back with you now for the remainder of this match. Live on JB Sports, JDAT Football, Storm FM, and Periscope, Twitter and Twitch and TCUB2. It's Spurs through Yale win a 3 kick, but Arsenal so close. Your card's going to be brandished. Your card's going to be brandished here. And it's number 23, back it's Lokanga. Got Sambi on his back. That's his Christian name. So a free kick to be taken by Son. Short here to Mora, who's been diabolical, I think, throughout the game, really. Son with the reply after Arsenal's gone 3 goals ahead. The Spurs fans have left in their dwellers as the shot comes in. It's up the post. It was a long-range effort from Lucas Moura, and Aaron Ramsdale berated his defender. I think he's berating Thomas Partey, I think. Lucas Moura with a terrific effort. Must have been about 25 yards from goal here as he got into that position, hit it with the left foot, and it hits the crossbar, in fact, not the post. And then it was knocked out for a corner, which Spurs take. We've played a minute and a half of the 5. You've got to give Spurs a little bit of credit because they have given it their best shot. Now, did Ramsdale get glove on that? Yes, he did. That is an excellent save from Aaron Ramsdale. He's leapt up like a salmon and has got a good glove on it, and he's flicked it onto the crossbar. That's actually a terrific bit of goalkeeping there, and surely that's played his way into the England squad when they get the fix for their forthcoming internationals next month. I'll tell you what, with Pickford injured at Everton yesterday, and Pope not producing his best form for Burnley, gifted them a couple of goals, gifted Leicester the second equaliser yesterday. But his goal kicking still to be desired. I've got to say that Ramsdale's probably played his way to the England side at the first thing stand, but things can change. We've still got another week of league action to go. Of course, there's that grudge match at Selhurst Park between Palace and Brighton to come. Palace getting into their stride after a disappointing start. Now Arsenal trying to waste a few time. Now I might just remind Arsenal that next time they play Burnley, when we might be in front and their time wasted, or we're time wasted. Anyway, 3 kick, and it's not a good 3 kick. It's come straight off the first man, which is a Aubameyang. 3 of the 5 gone. Arsenal still cruising to victory, by the way. As Kane jumps for a header, he's taking an even deeper position now. Kane, he's had a couple of sighters but it's not been his day, and here he comes again. Sung Yun Min gets it out to Mora. Mora again. Tough examination really of the way Arsenal have been performing today. As the shot comes in now, deflects, and in fact a free kick has been fouled. Odegaard's been fouled. 90 seconds or so to go of the game. And Tottenham, it's been a despite a very good second half, it's been a chasing experience for them. It's been a chasing experience for them, and even despite the second half really endeavours by Tottenham Hotspur, it's all been in a losing course, and the Arsenal fans absolutely delighted about this. They're going to enjoy the next few minutes. It's Tottenham's fan channel that's going to be in meltdown tonight, not Arsenal fan TV. It's going to be a joyous one for the Arsenal fans tonight, that's for sure. To beat your North London neighbours after the horrendous start they had. They lost their first three and were almost anchored to the bottom 3 weeks ago. The last two games they won 1-0, both against Norwich and Burnley, which gave them a lot of confidence. They've won a couple of cup ties as well in the Carabao. And now they're beating Tottenham. 3-1 they lead. The ball played in, and it's a poor ball really. And that really has been the theme of the match. And no wonder Nuno Espirito Santo, his head bowed. He'll be disgusted, even though this team gave it all their second half. To pull back 3 goals was too tall an order really, when all is said and done. Despite the second half of being a little bit more defensive in the second half, Mikel Arteta, despite not having a clean sheet, he will not be too bothered. The team are about to win as the referee bolts for the end, and Mikel Arteta, his smile and his fist bump means an awful lot. He hugs his technical staff and the Arsenal substitutes, because they know full well what a victory that is. That surely kickstarts Arsenal's season. If their last 2 victories were hard fought, this was champagne football by comparison. They did all the damage in the first half. Bukayo Saka got one of the goals. He was really superb. Emile Smith-Rowe got the first goal, and then Aubameyang doubled in on 27 minutes, and then Saka got the third. Some pulled one back with 10 minutes to go, but it wasn't enough, and Arsenal now move above Tottenham in the Premier League table, I think, on goal difference. I might be wrong, but they're now equal on points, and Tottenham, despite pulling one back and despite going close a couple of times through Harry Kane, we're just not on Arsenal's level today. And you've got to say a big well done to the Arsenal. It's been, that may well vindicate Mikel Arteta for absolutely sure. Terrific performance from the Arsenal, and worthy winners, you've got to say, by 3-1. Terrific performance, and again a standing ovation from this capacity crowd here at the Emirates. Very, very good performance, and it's definitely richly deserved. The full-time scoreline here as we head back to Rosu. By the way, I must thank, because when we were struggling at my end for some pictures, he helped with a little bit with the commentary and stuff, and helped me find another thing. I just want to say a big thank you to Russ Burney for that. Brilliant from my colleague today. But before I hand back to him, the final score here in what was a pulsating North London derby, and I hope you've enjoyed it with us at home, by the way. It's finished Arsenal 3, Tottenham Hotspur 1, and here's Russ to play you out to the end.
Thank you very much there to JB for excellent commentary in doing superb stuff this afternoon. Thank you very much for that, JB. The other result in the Premier League, as I mentioned earlier, was Southampton 0, Wolverhampton Wanderers 1, Raul Jimenez with the goal for Wolves to give them victory today in the net. So we'll just quickly run you through the Premier League table. Arsenal, with that result, move up into top half, 9 points, 3 behind Brighton, who could go top of the table tomorrow with a win over Crystal Palace. But Arsenal are up into 10th on 9 points, level up points with Brentford from 6 games. and on -5 goal difference. As for Tottenham, their rivals and their opponents today, they're in the bottom half. They're both on -5 goal difference. Incidentally, Arsenal and Tottenham. Arsenal are above Tottenham on goals scored to move above Tottenham. Tottenham drop into the bottom half for the first time this season. Southampton are 16th after their defeat to Wolves. Wolves up to 14th with 6 points from 6 games. The bottom three looks like this: in bottom on 0 points, Norwich City defeats in all of their 6 games. Then in 19th with no wins yet, 2 draws from their 6 and 4 defeats, it is Burnley. And with 3 draws and 3 defeats from their opening 6 games, is Leeds United, who make up the bottom 3. Leeds are on 3 points. Newcastle also with 3 draws from their opening 6 matches. They're outside the relegation zone. On goal difference, just separated Leeds with Newcastle. Southampton on 4 points. Crystal Palace on 5 points. So with a win, they'll go 1 point behind Tottenham and climb above Leicester, Wolves and Watford up to 12 should they beat Brighton, who could go top of the table. It's at the top of the table. I told you about where the bottom half of the table. Let's talk about the top half of the table in the Premier League. Liverpool are a point clear at the top of the table. Then in second is Manchester City. Third is Chelsea. Fourth is Manchester United. Fifth is Everton, who are on 13 points, a point behind Liverpool. Brighton with a win will move on to 15 points and go top of the table. West Ham, after their win at Ellen Road yesterday, are 3 points behind the league leaders. Aston Villa are 4 points behind the league leaders at the moment at Liverpool. Brentford are 9 points and 3 points behind Brighton, so could close the gap up if Brentford get a good result next time out. There had been some other matches going on today in the world of football, so I'll just bring you through those results once again. As I told you earlier, in the Women's Super League, you finished Manchester United 1, Chelsea 6, Brighton 0, Aston Villa 1, Tottenham 1, Reading 0. So Tottenham fans, at least one of your sides got a win today. West Ham 4, Leicester 0 is the other result. Arsenal fans, can your women's side get another victory? Can your women's side get a victory today as well as the men's? Find out from 6:45. We'll not be bringing you that here on the commentary, but also tune into the normal places where you can find to watch that. In the Women's Championship, excuse me, they finished Bristol City 0, Durham 2, Charlton 2, Blackburn 0, Liverpool 2, Crystal Palace 1, London City Lionesses 2, Coventry United 2, Sheffield United 3, Watford 0, Sunderland 1, Lewes 1. In League 1 in France, all the scores which I mentioned earlier: Bordeaux 1, Rennes 1, Brest 1, Metz 2, Reims 3, Nantes 1, Troyes 1, Angers 1, Clermont 1, Monaco 3, Marseille against Lens this evening at 7:45. In the Bundesliga, Bochum 0, Stuttgart 0 and Freiburg 3, Augsburg 0. Serie A, it is currently, earlier on it finished Juventus 3, Sampdoria 2, Empoli 4, Bologna 2, Sassuolo 1, Salernitana 0, Udinese 0, Fiorentina 1, finished Lazio 3, AS Roma 2, Napoli versus Cagliari is a 4-8 kick-off. In the Dutch Eredivisie, which I mentioned earlier, all these are now full times. Sports Rotterdam 0, Camber 4, AZ Alkmaar 5, Go Ahead Eagles 0, Heerenveen 2, FC Twente 3, Hercules 1, Welek 0. In the Portuguese League, it's currently Santa Clara 0, Braga 0. Later on is Portimonense versus Vizela. In La Liga, in the Russian Premier League, it is currently Krasnodar 3, Choshe 0. Earlier scores: Dynamo Moscow 2, FK Rostov 1, Amak Rosny 2, Dynamo Moscow beat Kazan by 2-0 in their game. In the Scottish Premiership, results from there, just to go through those again for you. Aberdeen 3, St Mirren 3, Aberdeen 2, should I say. Celtic 1, Dundee United 1, Hibernian 1, St Johnstone 0. Scottish Championship, Wraith 3, Partick Thistle 2. In La Liga, it is 2 half times, 2 full times, and one that kicks off at 8 o'clock. In the full times, it finished Real Mallorca 2, Osasuna 3, Barcelona 3, Levante 0. At half time is Real Sociedad 0, Elche 0, and Rayo Vallecano 2, Cadiz 1. Real Betis against Getafe is at 8 o'clock kickoff. In the MLS, New England Revolution 2, Orlando City 1, Columbus 2, Columbus Crew 2, Club Football Montreal 1, DC United 4, FC Cincinnati 2, Colorado Rapids 0, Toronto 0, Minnesota United 2, Houston Dynamo 0, New York City 0, New York Red Bulls 1 in the New York Derby, San Jose Earthquakes 2, Los Angeles FC 0, Vancouver Whitecaps 1, SC Dallas 0, Portland Timbers 6, Real Salt Lake 0, and in a game which kicked off 26 minutes ago, it's going to Chicago Fire 0, Nashville 0 in the MLS. Friendly International is going Nepal 1, Oman 6 with 14 minutes left to play, and in the under 16s it finished Sweden 2, Norway 1, and in the club friendly matches, Fairhouse 3, Cherry Orchid 3, Kilmarnock 3, Midfield Wanderers 3, and there's 3 matches later, all featuring Brazilian teams in the international friendlies. That's just all we have got time for today. Just to like to say big congratulations to Danone and the Leeds United ladies for a 3-1 win over Chester Street earlier on today. That was at the Global Stadium in Tadcaster, a 3-1 win for Leeds United ladies in the Women's National League earlier today. So congratulations to Danone and the Leeds United ladies. Well, that's all we have got time for today. Big congratulations once again to Arsenal. Superb performance from the Gunners. A delight to Thierry Henry who was watching on. Also a delight to a man who was at the Emirates with us as well, Tony Adams. So a big thank you to everyone who's tuned in. I've been Russ Vernon. The match commentator has been JB. Well, from all of us here at the Commentary Hub, thank you very much for listening, and we'll see you again very, very soon. From all of us here, goodbye.